Welcome to the Vent, Rebuild, Refocus podcast presented by WeChat here. I'm your host, That Boy Reckless, and this is the Refocus Series. In this series, we're all about transforming aimless thoughts and actions into meaningful progress. In today's episode, today's topic, we have none other than procrastination. Uh, Procrastination hinders us all. Understand? We all are a victim of one time or another procrastinating. Right? So together, we're gonna get to the root cause of procrastination and talk about some strategies that we may implement in our lives to get us over that hump of procrastination. And first and foremost, with anything, any ailment, we first have to identify procrastination in our lives. Understand, if you don't know your enemy, you cannot defeat your enemy. So let's just take a look at procrastination in the whole and understand that uh, procrastination is not just about laziness or poor time management because it's deeper. Procrastination is more psychological, and we're going to take a look at some of these factors that um, may be a root cause in your life. Understand, and hopefully, we can implement some remedies and suggest some remedies to get you out of this procrastination if that's what you're ailing on. So, I got some notes here. Don't worry about it. We're going to get through it. So, um, the first note, fear of failure. A lot of people don't like to move into unknown territory, or they don't like to move in an endeavor because they don't want to fail. They fear, and we know God didn't give us a spirit of fear. Understand? So to be fearful, we don't want to be fearful, right? We want to move brazenly. We want to move brave, be fearless. Sometimes we're so afraid of falling that we avoid starting a task altogether. Understand? It's like, yo, we don't even want to start it because we fear the fail. We're not even gonna start the task because we have a fearfulness of failing, and we just can't do that. The thought of not meeting our own and other expectations is paralyzing to us. Imagine me spewing something out to say I want to do something, and I tell a crowd. However, I don't even start it because of their expectation of the finish. We can't live like that. We have to be bold enough to live according to who we are and not supposed to be. Understand? We got all these standards that people hold us by. At this age, you should be this. At this age, you should have this. You should know this already. We can't live like that. We can only live according to who we are and what we have, our resources to pull from. We, my day one, it's not comparable to somebody's day 20. Understand? So we have to really get the fearfulness right because it could be crippling, and it could definitely be one of the root causes to procrastination. We don't want to be fearful, and the fear of failure is synonymous with the fear to succeed. Some of us are scared to, hey, I dreamt this, but when I get there, what do I do next? I'm scared to get to the next level. I'm afraid to get to the next level, so we procrastinate. Another root cause of procrastination may be perfectionism. Um, I'm not gonna do it until it's 100% perfect. I'm not gonna do it until it's ready. I'm not gonna do it until. and we keep putting it off because we feel it's not perfect, or our cohorts are telling us, oh, it's not ready yet, it's not ready yet. So um on the flip side, the desire to complete a task perfectly can also lead to procrastination. We might delay starting because we feel we're not ready. How many of us go through that to say, hey, it's not my time yet, I'm not ready? That is just a mask of procrastination, especially if you have an endeavor that's timely. Sometimes we can't wait to perfect something. Sometimes we got to jump in the fire, let the fire refine it, and then recoup the benefits of it, or recoup the guidance and the knowledge and the experience of it by jumping into the fire. We don't live in a perfect world. We strive for perfection, but none of us are going to be perfect. So to try to have perfection or to have the perfectionism mindset may be well. However, it can be a cause and a root cause to procrastination. And procrastination, like I'm gonna reiterate, is something that we all go through daily. So let's be mindful. So one, we got the fear to fail, right? Two, another root cause, we have perfectionism, to where we want to do things perfect and we won't let the cat out the bag yet until we feel it's perfect. However, that may be a hindrance to us. So let's just be mindful. A third root cause, to where I think this is prevalent, right? Because I hear this a lot. And I hear this one a lot, to where when we go to the gym, we want to get things done with weight loss or a diet. Oh, I don't got a workout partner. I don't got no motivation. So a lack of motivation could be a root cause to procrastination. Understand? And actually, procrastination is synonymous and proportional to your motivation. Understand? So just know that procrastination is synonymous and proportional to your motivation. So we lack motivation. We have to find out, well, how could we be self starters? If nobody else is in the world, how could we get things done from our own inner being? If we have a task, a diet, how could me, myself, say, hey, I don't need nobody to push me. I don't need nobody to guide me. I don't need no support. How can I get it done? We have to be self motivators. So a lack of motivation. If a task seems boring or irrelevant, it's hard to find the motivation to start. This lack of interest can make it easy to put off tasks indefinitely. So if let's say exercise, right? We know exercise sometimes is a vigorous exert exert of energy, and if you're like, you know what, I'm good the way I am, you're not going to be motivated to get to the gym. You're not going to be motivated to work out. So we got to make sure we check our motivation and what we are motivated by. Anything that you're motivated by, keep it close. Keep that close, because we don't want to let a lack of motivation trickle in and kill our progress. Remember, this series is about turning aimless thoughts into meaningful and purposeful, actionable activity. It's we're shifting the paradigm from aimless thoughts to productive thoughts. And procrastination, it's a culprit of aimlessness. where our mind is wandering, right? Our mind is wandering the whole time. A task could be sought, a task, an endeavor could be sought. However, all we're doing is procrastinating because our thoughts are aimless. So let's be mindful, and let's bring it back full circle. Um, Procrastination, we have to rid that out because that's going to lead to a lot of aimless thoughts. And then some you have an overwhelming feel that may have your procrastination at an all-time high. When a task feels big or complex, it can be overwhelming. Not knowing where to start can lead us uh, and avoid the task altogether, right? So sometimes we have endeavors, right? And we don't know where to start. We don't know how to do the research or what steps are next. So that overwhelming feel can have us procrastinate. So that's why it's important to any goal to have a plan laid out. All goals should have plans. All plans should have action plans so you can execute. We don't just want to have aimless goals. We want to have obtainable goals with the action plan so we can execute. That's the whole planning, and that's the whole theory of not procrastinating in this stanza. Like, if you feel overwhelmed from a task, look at those that's ahead, get a mentor, and see how they done it. Right? Let's not be fearful of reaching out for information because information can really change our lives. The right information coupled with the right resources could really have us on a whole different level to build generational wealth, generational knowledge for our children. Understand, we could be the forefathers of this generation. Understand what I'm saying? So we be mindful. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it may be because of your lack of preparation. And if you have a lack of preparation, we want to go ahead and implement something to where uh, we can be better prepared for our endeavors and really live into our endeavors. And we don't have to procrastinate on anything, but we could move the needle forward in our lives. And another common root cause to procrastination, we all go through it on our journeys. Like we got a set metric to where we want to get to, and distractions, Lord, we have 1,001 distractions on our journey. And sometimes you have a goal, right? And then you have distractions pulling you away. Sometimes our distractions become bigger than our goal. Understand? So here it is. I'm focused more on a distraction and less on a goal. So now the goal is in a state of procrastination because I'm more focused on the distraction element. I'm the more focused on the distraction item than the task at hand. So in today's digital age, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, and even household chores can pull us away from our tasks, right? So social. We just talked last episode on doomsday strolling. That is one of the biggest culprits of procrastination on the distraction standpoint, right? To where we'll stroll all day. Nothing was done, no productivity. Our goal is still in a state of procrastination. What are we gonna do? Who in our camp, what are you going to do? Not forget the camp. What are you going to do to draw your bearings back to say, listen, I don't want to stay in a state of idle, aimless mindset. I don't want to be in a super procrastinator. I really want to get things done. I want to move the needle forward, and I want to be productive in my days, all of my days. So we got to recognize these root cause. Is the recognizing this root cause, these 5 topics that I just pinpointed, right? Recognizing those is the first step into addressing your procrastination. Understanding why you procrastinate can help you develop targeted strategies to overcome it, right? So, like I say, I'm gonna always reiterate this. When you know your enemy, you could defeat your enemy. If you don't know your enemy, how could you defeat it? So when we recognize, hey, these 5 stanzas, um, the fear of failure, the perfectionism, the lack of motivation, the feeling overwhelmed, and then distractions. These may be the root cause of it. So when we look at our lives and we say, "Yo, I'm procrastinating," okay, that's the first step. Now, why? Right? Why are you procrastinating? Does it fall into one of these 5 categories? Could we formulate a strategy so we could, once we fall into that, we could get out of it? Because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the discipline to, hey, once I see this, I have to go this way, or I'm gonna just stay in a realm of procrastination. So let's talk about some strategies to turn procrastination into productivity. Um, now that we know the causes, right, we could talk about some strategies and techniques to try to overcome procrastination, because at the end of the day, that's what I'm here for. This is We Chat here. We are here for the people. So for people who feel overwhelmed and just in general, right? And I'm gonna read from my notes. Don't worry about it. Uh, break steps into breaking task into smaller steps, right? Sometimes, every time up to bat, we trying to hit a home run. It doesn't have to be that way. We could go first base, second base, third base, right? We're gonna get the score. However, if we just swing for the fences every time, we don't want that practice, right? So sometimes we just got to break our task into smaller steps. When the task feels overwhelming, break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of focusing on completing the entire project, set a goal to work on just 10 to 15 minutes. This can make the task less daunting and you help to get started. Understand? So let's say you got a project, 2 hours, right, of reasonable activity. I'm gonna do it in stages of 15 minutes. So I'm not thinking about the 2 hours. I'm segment one, 15 minutes. Segment two, 15 minutes. Segment three, 15. And lo and behold, before you know it, it's already done. We broke it down. We don't have to eat the whole plate, right? You eat your main, you eat your sides, you drink your water. Nobody does it in one setting. Like, we don't just, so relax first and foremost. Know you can. Know the victory is yours already, right? And then proceed. If it's a tall task, break it down into smaller tasks and then proceed. Set specific goals on this journey. Instead of vague goals like work on a project, set specific actionable goals like write the introduction to my report. Uh, Particular goals are easier to focus on and accomplish. So we wanna, yeah, don't just be broad, right? Oh, I want to work out. No, no, no. Okay. I want to lose 10 pounds. That's different because that's more particular to what I want to do, the result, than, oh, I just want to work out. Because now, okay, you want to work out, well, where you going to start at? Oh, well, I'm going to do push ups. But you want to work on your abs. So you want to curtail, you want to be customized in your goals. Don't set blanket goals, but be customized in your goals to say down to the needle, hey, I want this out of this goal. And then that's how you can better off start on it. Understand? So so use the Pomodoro technique. And this time management method involves working for a set period, usually 25 minutes, followed by a short break. This can help maintain focus and prevent burnout. Apps like Pomodoro or even a simple timer can be used to implement this technique. Understand? So we got uh, time management apps, right, that you could use. And just like when we go to the breaking down the task, you could set, I gotta sneeze, pardon me. You could set certain time slots depending on what you're doing. So that falls in the category of breaking it down. And then this even goes more further to say, hey, I'm gonna do this task for this amount of time. I need this done in this amount of time, and then go ahead and proceed, right? Because we don't want to be procrastinators, or we don't want to be paralyzed by procrastination. We actually have the keys to victory, and these are just some strategies that you can implement into if you're a serial procrastinator, you can implement these. And then eliminate distractions. Uh, identify your biggest distractions and take steps into minimizing them. Uh, this might mean turning off notifications, setting specific times to check emails, or creating a dedicated workspace. Me, I have an office. Everybody doesn't have a home office, but those who could create a home office, I suggest you do so, because you could go there. Uh, it's it's just peaceful in here. I can get this work done. Um, I could talk to you all here, right, with no distractions. I'm on D&D, no distractions. So we have to be disciplined to say, hey, I need to get this task done. I set this endeavor. I want this done. Let me go on D&D. Let me turn off these notifications. Let me turn this ringer down. Let me turn this TV off so I can be more productive in my days, and not have an aimless train of thought, right? And then at the end of the day, when we know that we are, you know, we're starting to grasp the concepts, and we're starting to implement these strategies, these strategies. Reward yourself always. All small milestones should be celebrated. Everything is not a home run. Celebrate getting on first base. That's okay. So give yourself a reward for completing tasks. This could be something small, like a short break, a snack, or time to do something you enjoy. Rewards can provide motivation and make the task feel more enjoyable. So you could set milestones on your endeavors. So when I reach this milestone, I'm gonna do this for myself. When I reach this milestone, I'm gonna get this. When I reach, you understand? So now you have a reward on your milestone, on your journey, waiting for you. So you have more incentive to get your task done. You have more incentive not to be a procrastinator and really get to your business. I always talk about a system of support, right? So you can have accountability partner. Find someone who can hold you accountable. Share your goals and progress with a friend, or join a group that supports your objectives. Knowing someone else is watching can be powerful, a powerful motivator, and that's a fact. Because guess what? We'll let outside influence us not to do it. Why don't we let outside influence us to do it? See what I'm saying? We elect to say, hey, everybody's watching. No, I don't want to do it. I'm fearful. However, we could shift that and say, no, everybody's watching. I am going to do it. This is the motivation. This is my stage. Everybody's watching. I need to go get this task done. They're holding me accountable. I want to be accountable. So let's not be too fearful to where, or let's not let the outside influence us not to, but let's let the outside influence us to. If you can understand that, because it's so often we'll let things not happen, but God forbid it does happen, and it does happen in our favor. That's what we set out to do, not to be aimless. So imagine me letting the crowd say, "Oh, he can't do it," and me just procrastinating on that and not using them as motivation. So let's use our naysayers as the motivations all the time. So, and just in conclusion, and to wrap this up, procrastination is a common challenge, but by understanding its root cause and applying targeted strategies like the ones we just talked about, you can turn it into productivity. Remember, the goal is to make progress, not to be perfect. Small, consistent steps can lead to significant achievements. You already know I'm gonna challenge y'all. So here's the challenge: identify a task you've been procrastinating on and apply the strategies we discussed. Uh, break break it into smaller steps. Set particular goals. Use the Pomodoro technique. Eliminate distractions. Reward yourself and find an accountable partner. Take the first step. Listen, we if you don't want to be a serial procrastinator, take heed. I'm only here to give the guidance and the knowledge that I know. I am that boy reckless. This is the Refocus Series, and live love, live life, love life, pursue happiness fearlessly. Signing out.